Sports journalist and best-selling author Stephen Brunt released his new book, All the Way, My Life on the Ice. The searing biography tells the story of NHL All-Star Jordan Tootoo and his journey from Nunavut to the National Hockey League. Brunt says it was extremely important to tell Tootoo's story to help open eyes.
I think it's really important. I think he thinks it's really important, and I think it is important to a lot of people, especially, well, not just people in the North where he comes from, but it's not just a hockey book. It's not really a hockey book at all. It's about his overcoming what he lived with in his life, in his family, and overcoming his own issues, with alcohol. I think that what he's done is open the door and show people things that normally are private. That he's been very, very honest. He's an extraordinarily honest guy. And I think by doing that, there are a lot of people who are going to read this and say, that's me, or that's my life, or, if he got through this, I can get through it. And I know that's important to him, and it's important to me as well, obviously, as his collaborator. It's terrific to think that a book might be more than just entertainment.
Brunt says this book is not like any other hockey biographies, including Theo Fleury's Playing with Fire.
Jordan is unique. No one from where he's from has ever done what he's done. No Inuk has ever played in the National Hockey League before. He's an incredible long shot. So his story is unlike anybody's story. There isn't a second one of him. So in that sense, dealing with the personal struggles and some of the things he's dealt with, that is in some ways similar to what Theo did, but coming from the place he came from, nobody's come from there and made it to where he made it.
The collaboration started after novelist Joseph Boyden approached him with Tootoo's story.
Joseph Boyden, who wrote the foreword to the book, the novelist, approached me as a friend, and he knew that Jordan was going to do a book, knew that Penguin was going to do it, and he thought it would be a good match. So it was really Joseph that matched us up, and then the people at Penguin, Nicole Winstanley, Nick Garrison, and I met with Jordan and his agent, and I didn't know him before the book, so Joseph was kind of the matchmaker.
Save for the whistling wind, which never seems to die completely, a blessing when it keeps the clouds and mosquitoes at bay, and for the occasional squawks of the huge storks that spend their summers here.
Brunt says the challenge of writing someone else's story is being true to that person and writing it the way they want it told.
It's his book, right? This is Jordan's book. So I wanted to be true to what he wanted to do and to tell his story the way he wanted it told. If you read the book, you'll see he has a very distinctive voice. So I wanted it to sound like Jordan. I wanted people to hear him speaking when they read the book. So it's... he doesn't sound like everyone else, and he doesn't come from a place that most people come from. It's very, very different. So it was to be true to that and to get that across in the book.
Being out on the land, he drove the quad out into the tundra, and he was a very important part.
Brunt traveled to Nunavut, where Tootoo was born, to get a feel for the land. Brunt says this was an experience he will never forget.
Nunavut, I'd never been before, so I got a chance to go to Nunavut and spend time on the land with Jordan and his dad and his nephew, and go fishing and live out on the land for a couple of days and experience a place and a culture I'd never experienced before. It was really exciting.
Although Brunt is a full-time journalist, he says being an author is very similar to being a journalist.
It's sort of similar, and again, in this case, my job was really. It was to be Jordan's voice, to help Jordan's voice come through. So I was really working for him in a lot of ways in this book. It's I controlled how the book was written, and I wrote the book and I put it together in a certain way. But I was really, my responsibility was to him. So that's a different thing than if you're independently working as a journalist and telling your story. It's different from other books I've written. If they're my book and it's just me, then I can do things my way in a lot of ways. But in this case, the challenge was to get it right for him. So that's different.